Hello, my name is Juan Carlos Moreno, Associate Director in the Office of Evangelization and Catechesis of the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. I want to welcome you to this space where I hope to give you a preview of the adult confirmation process that has been renewed in the Archdiocese. We're very excited to share with you this new process. We have some workshops prepared this November, and to better prepare you to fruitfully engage in these sessions, we wanted to share some of the history behind the process, the reasons behind why we created a new process, the needs behind it. And so I wanted to share with you, starting with some of the history of the preparation process here in the Archdiocese. The adult confirmation celebrations started here in the Archdiocese in the year of 1996 as a one-time preparation for the upcoming Jubilee of the year 2000. Now, after the initial preparation and celebration back then, people in the Archdiocese realized that it was necessary for an ongoing process to continue. And so the process of preparing and celebrating adult confirmation that began as a one-time thing continued up until our days. Every year growing and growing as we see more and more adult candidates in need of the Sacrament of Confirmation. Now, the initial preparation back in 1996 consisted in 6 sessions. The assumption behind this particular model was that the adults coming for this process just needed a catch-up type of catechesis. They had just missed confirmation because of work, because of school activities, or because of some other reason. So because of that assumption, the particular model of a 6-session preparation was established. Again, with the idea that active Catholics were the ones coming to this particular process. Now, after several years of experience with this process, many people came to the realization that this was not enough for many of the candidates that approached our programs. There was a need for a more in-depth formation because many of the candidates did not meet that particular criteria. Now, let's talk about some of the current challenges existing in the formation process. And as we all know, adults that present themselves for confirmation come from a variety of backgrounds and many different reasons. Some may come because of marriage reasons, some of them because they want to be godparents, baptismal godparents for a family member. And another challenge would be that the catechesis for adult confirmation throughout the Archdiocese is varied. There are some parishes that stick to the 6 sessions that are mandated in the guidelines. There are some that, recognizing the need for greater preparation, have created their own program and do a more extensive process. There are many adults that make it to this process, and if there has not been any type of previous discernment, we find out that many of the candidates were not properly disposed to receive confirmation because of different issues such as marriage issues and so on. And talking about the discernment, we found out that in the previous process, many parishes were not holding any type of discernment, any type of interviews before attending the classes, and thereby creating many of these issues that we talked about. Now, moving on to the celebration. Currently, one of the challenges in the adult confirmation process is that the celebration takes place only once a year, usually around Pentecost in a co-cathedral and different satellite sites. Another challenge is that some adults are placed in adult confirmation when they should really be going to through an RCIA type of process for uncatechized baptized Catholics. Another problem with this current process that we had is that pastors in parishes were not aware that parishioners were going to prepare for confirmation at a different parish. And part of the problem was that different pieces of the confirmation process resided with different offices throughout the Archdiocese. Now, let's talk a bit about the process, the new process. So let's give you an outline of the process. With this new process that we have piloted during the past year, candidates would start discerning with their pastor or his delegate in their home parish to determine the appropriate placement where they should go, whether it's adult confirmation process, whether it should be an RCIA process for uncatechized baptized Catholics. Now, the candidates in this new process will participate in a day of reflection in a retreat setting. They will also participate in service experiences reflecting in the meaning of Christian service, and of course, a celebration of confirmation and an invitation following that for opportunities of adult formation to continue the relationship now more closely related to the church through confirmation. Let's talk a bit about the process for discernment. That's one of the things that we are emphasizing. And it comes from the realization that, first of all, as Pope Francis tells us, we need to know the people that we minister to. We have to have the smell of the sheep. And so for that reason, we are recommending an interview, a discernment interview previous to starting the process. And this is also to find out their needs. We cannot just craft a program and expect that everyone will fit in to this particular program. So to find out their catechetical needs, we are recommending an initial interview. That way also any canonical impediments can be identified and addressed before entering the actual process. So the candidate is interviewed in the home parish, in his or her home parish, with sufficient time prior to the start of the proximate catechesis. In this interview, we are discerning their readiness in the areas of the knowledge of the faith, the practice of the faith, their participation in sacramental life, particularly the Eucharist, their prayer life, and their life of discipleship. So the interviewer will discern with them and place them in their appropriate place, it be RCIA, proximate confirmation catechesis, or immediate confirmation preparation. So now that we have talked about proximate confirmation catechesis and immediate confirmation preparation, let's talk about the new process. The new process is a two-track process, so that we don't have just a one 6-session model, but after this discernment interview, we will discern with the candidate and the pastor whether this candidate needs a more in-depth preparation, and so that would take them to the proximate process. In the proximate process, that would consist of up to 10 sessions. So we are building up to 10 sessions, and based on the needs of the candidate, they may take all the 10, or they may take 10 or 5 or however many this particular candidate needs prior to moving to the immediate preparation. So this proximate preparation process, these 10 sessions consist up to 10. They are Christocentric in nature. They have an emphasis on Scripture. We want this process to be an evangelizing catechesis. And so this process is based on the six tasks of catechesis. These lessons are correlated to the catechetical framework for lifelong faith formation that the Cardinal promulgated last year. And looking at simply the titles of these 10 sessions, we have session 1, Jesus Christ, the ways of prayer, the Bible as God's Word, the Old Testament, New Testament for session 4. Session 5 will be the Creed. Session 6, Sacramental Life. Section 7, Liturgical Life, especially the Mass, Moral Formation, Communal Life, a Missionary Spirit, and finally, a Day of Reflection. So these are only the titles. We will talk about the content much more in depth during the training sessions. So after these up to 10 sessions, we have the retreat, the Day of Reflection, where everybody comes together. Whether the candidate was going straight to the immediate prep, they would start the process with the retreat, or if the candidate started with one of the 10 sessions, everybody comes together for the retreat, for the Day of Reflection, where the emphasis is placed then in the Sacrament of Confirmation, especially catechesis on the Rite. This is now moving on to the immediate preparation process. We want to do a very heavy catechesis on the Rite. Catechesis builds also upon the content presented in the proximate preparation. Also, Christian service will be an essential dimension of this invitation to discipleship, which fosters the Church's mission. So also a very important part of this particular process. So looking at the immediate preparation now, basically just the labels, just the titles of the lessons. There are 6 of them. Sacraments of Initiation, Part 1, Baptism, and Confirmation. And then session number 2, Sacraments of Initiation, part 2, the Eucharist. Session 3, Prayer and Spirituality. Session 4, Moral Life and the Sacrament of Penance and Reconciliation. Session 5, the Celebration of the Rite. And then session 6, Church and Discipleship. So these particular sessions, they are not suggested. They are mandated if a parish wants to be a center for preparation. So out of the proximate, the 10 sessions, parishes have the option of choosing which sessions a candidate needs. But for the immediate preparation, every candidate will need to be prepared according to the content of these 6 sessions. We can mention the preparation outside of the sessions that will include general information and orientation for candidates and sponsors. Candidates should be reflecting with sponsors on an ongoing basis. Candidates also reflect on Christian service and also a reflection on the saints as models of Christian life. So we can move on and talk about proximate preparation sessions that are offered at the parish. And we are suggesting that these 10 lessons be open to a wider crowd in the parish. They can be used as a means of adult formation. So anybody in the parish may attend these proximate preparation sessions. The immediate preparations are offered at designated sites where the coordinator has participated in a training session. So the sites may also offer the proximate catechesis. And initially, we may not necessarily implement this particular point. As long as you agree to follow the format that we're offering, you will be able to offer the immediate preparation along with the proximate. Candidates attending the classes at a designated site must provide a letter from their pastor or his delegate affirming their disposition to receive confirmation after completing all the sessions to be handed to the site facilitator at the first class. So let's talk a bit about celebration. Site leaders will submit the names of all candidates who have completed preparation and are judged ready by the Office of Worship to register for the location where the sacrament will be celebrated. So instead of having just one celebration in January, we are trying to have at least another date in January 2016. So we will have the Pentecost celebration, I should say rather, and then a Sunday celebration in January, probably around the baptism of the Lord. And there may be some changes to that. We are trying to move forward and offer the parishes as a regular site for celebration of confirmation, as it is done with any other sacraments. But stay tuned for that particular development. For now, that is a plan that we have. Thank you very much for taking the time to view this video in preparation for the adult confirmation workshop. We're very, very, very excited about the development of this resource for you. We will have materials, we will have lesson plans, we will have PowerPoints outlined for the retreat in the hope of providing as many resources as possible. So thank you for taking the time to view this video, and I'll see you at the workshops. Thank you.